I was walking in with my buddy Shannon.
And who is Shannon?
Shannon's on the TV show Counting Cars.
Right.
So he goes, my name is Shannon. And then she responds, Shannon like a girl. And he goes, my name is Shannon. And she says, I'm going to need to see ID. So she basically doubles down. It's like, he's like, I don't have any ID.
Hold on. Did he actually have ID? He just like at this point.
No, he didn't have ID.
F this woman.
He just doesn't carry a wallet. I mean,
who doesn't carry a wallet?
He's like, hold on, let me cue up the History Channel. And this is me.
So she profiles him because, because his name is Shannon. In the meantime, another guy walks over and grabs the badge I'm wearing, which was actually Shannon's wife. We had
which was a very stereotypical female name, right?
Right, but you can identify however you want now.
That is true.
What was the name on that badge, Chef?
I was going by the name of Crystal today.
Welcome once again to the Dirt or Die Porsche podcast. My name's Duane. I'm here with JP, as always, Mr. John Polnik. Hello, John.
Duane Wik, it's good to be in the studio with my partner. I'm excited about tonight because we got a full house, right?
We do, and let me start with Mental Ward because he not only is the proprietor of Everyone Racers podcast. Have you seen it?
I have. I've been on it.
So have I. It's a solid podcast, but also a very talented driver. So shout out to Mental, and thank you for running the keyboards.
Are you mentioning Mental because you always forget him, and when he's not around, you're always talking about how much you don't 100%. Like him?
100%. Like you always have to introduce him because I always forget about him. But to be fair,
but he always remembers me when he goes and gets beer, which is infinitely more valuable.
Exactly. I know what counts.
Yeah.
I know what counts. We also have Michael Deeb, your partner in Bid Nerds.
Yes, sir. Michael Deeb in the house.
The most interesting nerd in the room.
Yeah. Deeb, fascinating character. If you haven't watched Bid Nerds, stop this podcast, uninstall it, delete it, unsubscribe, and go watch Bid Nerds.
Solid plan.
And then come back and resubscribe.
Yeah.
We've got Chef, the one, only
Chef
in the house.
Yes.
Yeah.
From Vegas. Auto Fest is here.
Yep.
My partner in Vegas Auto Fest. Chef, thanks for being here. And bringing pizza. He brought Rob Bonanno's Pizza.
SEMA Blacklisted. And then last but not least, Jason Alter.
Thank you.
Good friend, good dresser, and
good to be back.
Bible thumper. But
he is a snappy dresser, isn't he?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Not just famous, infamous.
Infamous.
Forever 21. I get it shipped over to the house.
It says Forever 21.
It's Hot Topic.
You got to get in on that microphone. Most of the kids know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of people in town. I was supposed to have a buddy of mine, Dan Dreos, from one of my old friends from Seattle. He'll probably pop in on us. I don't know. He's probably getting some crack in the alley behind the studio.
I forgot Shelby.
And Shelby
the dog.
Here, of course.
Shelby the dog is here, and Gilbert.
I mean,
Gilbert.
we're gonna do Shelby.
She's licking beer off the towel that she spilt earlier, which I think was like just squirreling it away, knowing that if she waited, it'd all be gone.
Right. Get it now while you can, Shelby.
Gilbert the parrot up there.
Yeah.
Getting this right, Mental?
He's unusually quiet this evening.
JP, my feed, my Instagram, my TikTok, whatever, is just SEMA all the time.
Yeah.
24/7 lately. And we're here in the thick of it.
Yeah.
In Las Vegas.
Yeah.
You've been before.
Yeah.
I've been before.
I don't know. I don't know what these guys are doing over here. They're snickering and giggling. What do you got going underneath the table? Is there something that...
Me?
Oh my God. Jeez.
Yeah. Forgot the pants today. And it's cold. So that combination's not the best.
Shrinkage is happening.
SEMA show's in town. If you're not familiar with SEMA, here comes your friend. What's his name?
His name is Dan. Who locked the door?
We did because the dog
because the dog could get in and out. That's right.
Escape.
She will eat people.
Shelby is very strong. Yeah.
Right off the street.
All right. Welcome, Dan. Actually, keep the chair over there and be careful. That one's missing a wheel, so you might fall over. We weren't going to tell you, but that's the problem. That's what happens when you come late.
We didn't have him sign the waiver, so we had to tell him.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'd be funny.
SEMA stands for Specialty Engineering Automotive.
You got one.
Specialty Equipment Automotive Manufacturers Association.
And you got it wrong,
but basically,
too.
Did he?
It's not.
Specialty
It's not SAME.
Yeah.
It's SEMA.
That's what I said. Engine,
No, but then
specialty.
he says it was
Specialty equipment
Equipment.
manufacturers.
There you go. The
Association.
M is
Yeah.
in the right. Okay, so
It's one of the biggest conferences. What do you call it? Shows.
it's one of the biggest conventions
Convention.
in Las Vegas, and this is
Yeah.
a town
And we
made
have
for conventions.
big ones.
Yeah.
We have millions of square feet of convention space here, so that's saying something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I wanted to talk about how terrible LED headlights are, and that reminds me of when I went to the SEMA show back in the day, probably around 2006. There's an entire hall devoted to just LED stuff.
Yeah.
So like every kind of like possible LED thing that you can paste onto your car, spinning light wheels, speaker light things. That's not typically the thing you see on Instagram though. You
Yeah.
see like the main hall with like the the Ford whatever F-350 on half tracks. That's got a $10 million suspension setup. But the reason why I bring that up is because the side halls that have all these manufacturers from all over the world are actually where a lot of the business gets done, the real business of SEMA.
Yeah.
And I think
It's
SEMA,
when you go upstairs
Yeah.
and you get the small displays that are manned by a couple of guys from China or from a few people
The
from
small
Fresno or
displays.
something like that.
and they're
yeah.
on the back row, they're
Yeah.
whatever, you have to walk 10 million miles to get to them,
Yeah.
and they're kind of hidden back there. But if you're a, say, like an entrepreneur or a designer and you're in the automotive industry, this is it. This is where you meet the people that can make anything on earth, and they can make it at a good price. So that part's exciting to me. Like all the fancy cars, that's cool.
Yeah.
But like the business opportunities, the potential that's at that show, I think that's kind of the thing that people don't know about SEMA. The general person may not know
There's a
about it.
percentage of the people that show up that are actually doing work, but 90% of the people there are just tourists who are looking for an excuse to come to Las Vegas, get away from their spouses, and honey, I'm going to a convention.
Yeah.
It's business.
I disagree with that completely. I think there's a ton of people here for business, because social media
hold on.
is skewed toward
What percentage?
for legitimate business.
Yeah.
I think
Now,
it's,
because I exaggerate
I think
10%.
it's 75%.
75? You
Yeah,
think
I think
it's
only
more than half.
25% are like dick around, like, oh, my buddy got me a pass, or I made up a fake corporation.
I know you guys hate it when I jump in like this, but it is also Apex, which is a repair for all the people that do body
Oh
work.
God, who
and-
cares?
and
That's
so
the
they're
thing
all
about
there.
SEMA. It's so full of shit. Sorry, I'm dropping an S-bomb on my own show. SEMA is so damn boring. I mean, you walk around, it's super crowded. You can't talk, you can't get to anyone.
That's why when people say, "Are you going to SEMA this year?" I'm like, "No, I have no desire," because you can see the really cool stuff on somebody's video on the first day, right? The rest of the time, you're just fighting people, and
Well, let's ask someone in the
shoes.
room who actually came to Vegas. Like everyone here, well, there's two people in the room that don't live here.
Okay.
Everyone else does.
Yeah.
Dan came from, do I say you're from the Northwest or do I say you're from California now? I don't know what to do. You got to be in the microphone. Give him the microphone. Maybe pop it off that thing.
So it hasn't been long enough that I've been in California, so I do feel like I'm from the Northwest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dan and I know each other from Seattle days back in the day. But you came here specifically for SEMA. Why did you come? What do you care?
So my last time at SEMA was in 2009 as a buyer. So like I was here working.
Yeah.
And I do actually agree with his thing where he said it was 75%. Like there's a lot of people that are actually doing a lot of real work and making connections on the floor.
Thank you.
And there are some people that make
70%?
yeah, 100%
Oh, yeah, for
easily.
Sure. Thank you.
No, 70%, 100%. All right. So, Dan, you say that 70% of the people at SEMA are actually there for business.
Absolutely, dude. There are so many disgruntled, like middle-aged men there that are literally only there
Just like
because
this
they're
room.
like companies making them. And like, trust me, you see them on Fremont Street afterwards. Like they're working the like $2 tables,
Yeah.
and they are just angry at life that they have to be here.
See, this is you're making my point for me. That's exactly it. There are people that have business, but they don't need to be here.
I
They're
think
only
your
here
point was
as an excuse. They use their business, the fact that they have a business or can get a pass or whatever. They will pay tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars to have a booth here so they can spend a week in Vegas away from their wives.
You're
So it's
sort of
fake
right.
business.
You're sort of right.
Right?
I feel like you got about 50% of the point there. I don't think it's 100%.
Can we
It's percentage things.
Is it possible-
Steve, what do you think? You're not here for SEMA. What do you know?
is it possible that you could both be right?
Impossible.
Not
Yeah, not in this political
likely.
climate.
Wouldn't make for good wouldn't make for compelling podcast, but
Mental, turn me up a little. I'm getting nothing. Check.
Audio.
Do you hear me?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Never mind.
Your cans might not be coming in. Guys,
my
we're having
cans-
technical problems
my cans are
left and right. Deeb, what are you doing in town? What's going on?
this is the most uninteresting story of the night. Like, first of all, I miss Las Vegas tremendously, so it's an honor to be in this hallowed ground, compared to my basement where I podcast from with you regularly. But as all my friends are still in Las Vegas, so is our doggy. I can't even say it with a straight face.
No,
Here it
you-
comes, guys.
Doggy
No way.
chiropractor,
Oh my God.
Dr. Bradshaw at Agape. And anyway, my dog blew out her knee, and I refused to put her under the knife and cut her open. So we came out to get a few treatments from Dr. B.
Okay, now that I can
All
get
the way
behind.
from
Yeah,
San
yeah.
Francisco.
I drove my dog out here Wednesday morning. I got up at 5 and made a 2:10 appointment, and I was an hour and 10 minutes early. I got here at 1 o'clock.
Nice.
That Cayenne rocks.
So
Cayenne diesel.
the whole time you're here, you have no plans to go to SEMA or go check it out. or
Why
anything
on
like
earth would
that?
I?
To see all the cool stuff. And by the way, are there still booth babes, or was that kind of like outlawed like the F1 girls?
So honestly,
They
there was
didn't outlaw it, but
It's now
it's
frowned upon.
just lame.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So there was a photo that dropped today of a bunch of fucking boomers taking. Sorry about the F-bomb. Bunch of boomers taking photos of some very attractive women in a booth. There's like a group of like 6 of them. So yes, they're still a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so sad. Just the fact that boomers
Get in on that mic there.
I was just commenting that it's so sad that the boomers actually, take pictures of the booth babes.
I think it's sad that
Do they know
that
about?
there's just a bunch of woke warriors out there that apparently don't want pretty young women to make money. Because there's a whole industry of girls
Yeah.
that do that gig, and it's either
Now
that
they
or a
have to
pole.
dance down at the Spearmint
Right.
Rhino.
It's like,
And-
which would you rather do if you're the pretty girl? Stand by a pretty car in a nice dress, or go down to the Spearmint Rhino and get money from those same exact guys 6 hours later? Which is probably what's
I don't
going on.
condone the sex trafficking. I don't know where you're going with this.
Yeah.
So,
Well-
young women making money, attractive,
See?
Seems like they would just
Exactly.
do like, booth non-binary, booth dudes, that kind of thing. Like to make it
Non-binary
more like,
Nothing would
politically
sell
correct.
car parts like some
Yeah, you should push that to a manufacturer next year.
Yeah.
Is a non-binary booth at SEMA like both domestic and foreign car, or
Yes, that's what I
okay?
meant.
All right, thanks.
That is what I was talking
Because
about.
I've never
It's
been.
a hybrid. It's electric and gas.
Thank
So,
you, mental.
When the thing is, like, I've been coming before I moved here. I've lived here, I don't know, 7-8 years, something like that now.
Mhm.
When we moved down here, I didn't like Las Vegas specifically. One of the main reasons was because in my business, I had to come to Vegas and do conventions all the time, a lot of Microsoft stuff. And the best show of the year was SEMA, just because I happened to like cars. But I
Yeah.
was always hired to come down here, and it was always just a slog because you're humping camera gear all day on that stupid convention floor. And you're doing dumb interviews with people that are just like, this is wax or
There's like
whatever.
a collective exhaustion pall over Las Vegas right
Yeah.
now. From you can almost feel it.
Yeah.
Just from everybody that's down
Well,
there.
because because everyone goes to the convention during the day, and because they're in Vegas, they all feel like they got to go have themselves the Vegas experience that night. So they race back to the hotel. They go to Benihana's for dinner. They get liquored up
Is there
there,
a
and then
Benihana's?
in the West.
actually still in existence?
It's
Oh,
in,
yeah.
in the Westgate,
Yeah,
It's,
that's Steve Aoki's
huge.
dad that runs the
Oh,
Benihanas.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right. Forgot about that.
and then they go and
Is he?
one of the most brilliant things that's ever kind of come from SEMA, it really happened at SEMA, and then now you see the same thing happen at CES and all that stuff. But the club promoters figured out they're like, okay, there's this fringe time from like 7 to 10. Like no one goes to a nightclub till like midnight or 1 o'clock, right? And so they know, and people start lining up at about midnight or 10 o'clock to get in later. But they know that there's this fringe time, so they figured out how to sell that to the boomers that you're talking about, Dan. So you can go to, what are the big clubs? I'm too old to know.
Hakkasan,
yep, whatever. You go to all the clubs, and it's just all these guys they still have their stupid badges on. They're in their slacks. They're in their shirt, and they're going to
trying to go to a nightclub in slacks.
Yeah, and they're at the nightclub. And they're like, so they could go home and tell her, yeah, we went to Hakkasan. No, you went to Nefertiti's lounge after that and picked up on the poor waitress till 4 o'clock in the morning, and you wandered your way back to your room. And
you're so cynical. Give me a positive thing about SEMA.
About SEMA, I don't have
not a single one.
Not a single one. I really totally over it. I am not a SEMA fan. You guys?
I don't hate the world.
Yeah,
I
love the world. I just don't like SEMA.
You totally hate the world, JP. All of our subscribers know it.
Yeah.
But
totally true.
I will say
more
that
of them.
SEMA.
If I was more positive, maybe we'd have 6 or 7 followers.
Your 7 followers are in the room tonight.
Exactly. It's the entire audience here.
Did you know Chef actually almost started a fist fight and nearly got kicked out? Or actually
yes, because this is a common trope. You go to SEMA, and for years everyone had their little badges that you get for $50 off Craigslist. Yeah. What happened to Chef? We got to get the microphone to him.
He's not going to tell the story.
Something happens.
But while we're moving the microphone, SEMA exclusively provides me with my year's supply of pins.
Of what?
Everyone steals them.
Of what?
Pins.
His
pens?
Hypodermic
writing utensils?
Needles.
Absolutely.
Pens.
I collect about 150 pens because everyone comes to my desk for work and they always leave with my pens. And now I don't have to buy them because SEMA I'm helping advertise these companies.
SEMA pins.
Are pens hard to come by, and do people still use them?
I'm on my keyboard.
I've had one for the last
we
5
do
years.
in government work.
That comment is coming from a guy who doesn't buy a car unless it has 165,000 miles on it. So that makes sense. That's congruent with who he is. You know what I mean?
I suppose you're right. I don't like the other day I realized I didn't have a pen on me when I was at the bank or something like that. Like nowhere in my car, nowhere in my bag, nowhere. My wife didn't have a pen. None of us had a pen because who uses a pen? It's all on the thing.
It was like Memento.
Yeah. All right. So. What's his name? Magnus Walker has a famous story. He used to always come to SEMA and get a fake badge or he'd borrow a badge with someone else's name on it. And he'd walk around.
First he would bedazzle it.
He probably would, put a bunch exactly
like rip the side of it,
Rocket
like
Republic
put some shoe
badge.
shine on
he
it.
would Johnny Depp.
But then he felt like he really made it the year that he had his own badge with his name on it.
That's a good milestone.
I saw him this year.
Yeah, I saw him at the Las Vegas Concourse. Actually did something really stupid. It wasn't stupid. It was just cheesy. He was talking to people, and I walked by and I was like, "What up, Magnus?" And he said, he did that. So
what?
That's my story. I don't know.
Okay. That was a story. Got it.
I just wanted to tell you.
So Chef, did you pay for a badge? You went to go to SEMA?
I was thrown out of SEMA.
That's not the way I understand the story. From what I understand, you
like physically, or were
no, hold on. Did you even get in?
I did not get in.
Yes. So who were you there with?
So I was walking in with my buddy Shannon.
And who is Shannon?
Shannon's on the TV show Counting Cars.
Right.
So, there's hundreds and thousands of people walking in the show. There's a security guard 4 feet to one side, 4 feet to the other, 8 doors. The security guard runs out and blocks Shannon's path. She stops right in front of him, and she looks at him and she says, "Your name is Shannon."
Shannon is a guy.
Shannon. And he said,
he identifies as a guy, and he
large Hawaiian.
Obviously looks like a guy.
Yeah, he's
not only is a guy, he's a famous guy.
He's on Counting Cars, right?
Right. So he goes, my name is Shannon. And then she responds, Shannon like a girl. And he goes, my name is Shannon. And she says, I'm going to need to see ID. So she basically doubles down. He's like, I don't have any ID. He's like, I'm literally photographs at a booth. I don't need an ID. I got my badge.
Hold on. Did he actually have ID? He just at this point.
No, he didn't have ID.
F this woman.
He just doesn't carry a wallet.
Who doesn't carry a wallet?
All you have to do is wake up on
Who doesn't carry a pen?
Turn on
History Channel.
Like nobody, but everybody has
You're gonna
ID.
see that guy.
He's like,
Yeah.
hold on, let me queue up the History Channel, and this is me.
So she profiles him because, she profiles him because his name is Shannon. In the meantime, another guy walks over and grabs the badge I'm wearing, which was actually Shannon's wife. And we had and he
Which
says,
was a very
yeah,
stereotypical female name, right?
right, but you can identify however you want nowadays.
That is
I don't know if
true.
you're aware
What
of
was the
that.
name
is
on
true.
that badge, Chef?
I was going by the name of Crystal today.
Crystal. Yeah.
Right.
That
On
could
the third stage, give it up for
Yeah, I was
Crystal.
gonna say that's a stage name in this town.
I
Yeah.
feel pretty
Hands
good about
together.
it.
Yeah.
I owned it well though.
Yeah.
So I basically got kicked out.
And did Shannon make it in?
I don't know. I
He had
left him
to.
there.
He
I
had to
believe he made it in.
Get
though.
back to the booth.
But I mean, again, they were profiling based on the names. I mean, if you would have had Duane here trying to walk in and with a badge that said Tyrone, he would have been profiled as an incorrect name.
Hey guys, I'm super excited to tell you about our sponsor, Guys Customs. That's Guys, GYX _customs. That's how you spell it. Guys Customs bracelets. These things are amazing. Check them out. They're handmade in America, custom bracelets made to match your watch or your car. These things are unbelievable. I have 3 or 4 of them myself. My partner Michael Deeb has a bunch of them. They're pretty addictive once you get one. Each one of them are bespoke. We're talking carbon fiber. We're talking titanium. We're talking stainless steel, glass. There's none of this cheap Chinese garbage that you see a lot of bracelets being made out there. These ones are super high quality. They're made right here in America. When you go to Guys Customs on Instagram, it's about the only place that you can order one of these. When you DM the artist, you're actually reaching the real artist when you DM Guys Customs at Instagram. And she will make you a bracelet made to match that special watch, that special car, or that special person that has a special watch or a special car and they want something really, really cool in their life. They make the most amazing gifts. I get compliments on mine all the time. Everywhere I go, people are like, wow, that's really cool. You can see in the pictures, these beads, the colored beads are PTS. They're paint to sample. So if you have a specific color code for your car, she'll have beads made that are specifically painted to match your car or your watch. It's unbelievable. You got to get one of these Guys Customs bracelets. Check them out. They support us, and we really, really, really want to support them. Guys Customs bracelets.
The guards were pretty aggressive, though, considering, I mean, really, you're going to walk around and look at car parts? It's really that.
They must have just got like a pep talk from like the head dude who was
The
like,
head-
make sure you guys check all
the
these
head
badges.
rent-a-cop?
Yeah, the head rent-a-cop. Yeah, no, I remember them being either completely disinterested or total Nazi. Like, let me look at your badge. It was one or the other. So, but the thing about SEMA is like, if someone hassles you, you're like, all right, sorry, just go down 100 yards to the next entrance, walk in. Like you said, there's thousands of people
Flooding
walking in and out, and they can stop one, but they can't get you multiple times.
Yeah, I mean, I like your line. This is my wife's badge. No, you're not taking it. That's my wife's badge. Sorry, I'll go back to the room and get the correct one, or I'll wait for her to come out and we'll swap the right ones.
Yeah.
Get away from me. I mean, that's
He
armed robbery.
was saying this is my property. Technically, it's not. I mean, anytime they do those badges, it's the property of the.
Have you read?
the
You're the
show.
guy that would have
I
read.
do.
the
I
small
read.
print.
I read the fine
Yeah,
print.
Yeah. It doesn't surprise me at all.
On the registration.
That is not my phone.
So
whoever's ringer that is.
we
It's
use
Deeb's phone.
phones as the cameras for this show, and of course, Michael Deeb using his phone
World's worst ringer.
did
What is that?
not turn it off, but that's okay.
That's available
like
on
you
an
said,
Apple
we're not
phone?
on rails here.
Yeah.
Maybe everyone's doing rails in the alley. That's kind of what we thought Dan was doing. Is that why you were late? Were you? Because this is a rough neighborhood. We're at the Container Park in downtown Las Vegas. You go 1 block east of here, and it's.
Whoa. Now you're bad mouthing the Container Park.
Yeah, no, the Container Park is great.
There's no one he won't badmouth.
This
Well,
is an oasis in the North End.
I am gonna go ahead and ish talk the Container Park.
Oh, here we go.
Well,
It only took 2 days.
okay. Yes, I agree with you. Right.
Because it
The
is
concrete
SEMA.
pads.
It
What the
is
hell?
SEMA week.
Yeah.
And we planned on having a creator party like we did at the Dur Studio on the other side of town a few years ago, and that was just an epic party. Such a good
JP,
time.
tell the audience what a creator party would look like.
A creator party, we would have invited everyone all the social influencers, just everyone. We just would have invited a gajillion people attendees of SEMA to come to the container park, and we had planned to have millions of dollars worth of cars lined up outside.
Right there.
Outside.
Right there.
Yeah.
We had a
Which would have
DJ,
been like
we had a
6
band,
cars.
we had food, we had liquor, and then there's restaurants and bars down in here. It would have just been epic. Everyone was getting excited about it.
Would Shannon have been able to get in without ID?
I don't know. If it was a legit badge,
Crystal,
and
absolutely.
Crystal for sure.
Crystal for sure.
Shannon.
Crystal's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crystal's
Crystal
here.
If
made
he
it
had
in.
ID.
Yeah.
So, Mental, do you not carry a wallet? Is that what you're saying? Because you have a pen, but you don't
He's
carry
going back
a wallet?
to that.
Yeah, I'm going back
He's
to
like,
that.
I got a pen right here if you need it.
Yeah, so
You
the
can pay on your phone with
How many
Actually,
cars-
the first thing I get rid of is my
JP
wallet. I'll throw an ID in my back pocket, but I hate carrying a wallet.
Container
JP
Park said to you,
How
So
many
the
cars
container
would you have
park-
gotten in here?
we probably would have had about 30
Oh,
cars.
awesome.
You know,
Awesome.
everything from
Which is-
SVJs to Porsche 904s to you name it. We had AJ's Lambos were coming.
Wow.
We had a bunch of really cool stuff planned to bring in here. Now, these are sports cars. None of them are
Mhm.
terribly heavy.
what do they weigh? 2,000 pounds tops?
3,000 I don't know.
2,500,
I gotta think
3,000?
an SVJ is gotta weigh
2750,
2,500
I think.
yeah.
3,500 for the
Yeah.
SVJ.
Whatever, right? The whole park is paved with these big concrete pavers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if you've ever been in a mall. Right?
No,
You go into
never.
a mall. Anybody ever been to a mall? Nobody goes to malls anymore. Only people with pens go to malls, right? But remember back in the day,
Wallets go to malls.
they would drive SUVs into
Oh, yeah.
the mall, and,
And
they
those
had
were
the,
little porcelain.
they had the little
deals,
porcelain
right?
tiles,
Yeah.
and they would drive a big old full-size Lexus
Mhm.
in
A
there on the
tank,
second
pretty
floor.
much.
Nobody was ever worried about the tile.
Right.
These are huge, thick, concrete outdoor pavers.
Right.
They're like, we're concerned that the cars
And
are
concrete it can hold what 1,000 pounds per square inch, something
At least,
ridiculously
at
high.
least.
So we're talking like
And it,
one paver could hold the equivalent of like
Those-
the Exxon Valdez.
those pavers are 18 inches too. They're not even like 1 foot squares. They're like
Yeah, they're
oversized.
big.
They're
Yeah,
massive.
exactly.
They're
So
big. They're
They-
big.
You could run a
It was
steamroller
so it was
on
a
The rub-
total BS excuse, right?
the rub is that management told you green light, and then 2 months later, the owner of the container park contacted you directly and nixed it himself because
Well,
of
it wasn't
cement.
the, well,
Dead
the
Tony
owner, yeah,
Hsieh
the management,
got
the
out of his
management
grave.
company that owns the property. So the property director, the guy who's on site, he loved the idea. He was super excited about it. That's why we went forward with it.
Yeah.
And then it was like he had to put it up the chain to his people.
They hate money.
And well, it's not that they hate money. The thing that sucks is
My
that we
stomach,
would have
I'm all
had
hungry.
hundreds of people here, and Tuesday night
Good
is
girl.
not a busy night here in the container park.
No.
Would have been.
It would have been. This place would have been
I mean,
packed.
you have how many people are at the SEMA show? 100,000?
Yeah, 10. Yeah,
50 to
at
100,000
least,
people,
yeah,
right?
Six figures. A lot of people have 100% of those are here for business.
Yeah. So
not to go to the strip clubs.
It would have been like the argument would have been slightly more palatable if they would have said, I don't want you bringing all those old cars in here and dripping oil all over my container park place. But
That I
the,
get.
the
Yeah.
nonsense or the BS of, well, what
So
if
I
you
wouldn't
crack
brought
the
my
tiles?
cars,
I'm like,
damn.
how are we
Fine,
gonna crack
well,
the tiles? We're not dropping.
How much is a tile?
We're not playing an egg toss with kettlebells.
Right.
Like, what the hell, you know?
we
Some
should
of
have
the
got the
cars
new
we're going to bring are literally, $1 million. Like, we don't care about a tile. We'll replace it.
Yeah. We should have got the new carbon sandwiched, super tile that they sell at the SEMA
Right.
show.
Yeah.
Then we'd
So
be
at
fine.
that point, we're like, if they're kind of giving us that guff, that means they're not partnering with us. So sorry to everyone else in the.
So when are you going to break your lease and get out of here?
Yeah, I know, right? We're thinking about it. We're actually, Romi and I are looking at spaces right now. So just there it is. But anyways, all right. So highlights of SEMA. I'm ish talking SEMA. I just get tired of walking around and I'm old and
I
cranky.
think-
But there is some really cool stuff, and it is neat to see the cars, and it's great to see people, and that's usually most any show, right? Vegas Auto Fest or Luke.
Well, SEMA's a little
about-
bit different because
Yeah.
SEMA is about inspiration. Like if you're a builder, you see stuff there that is brand new to the hobby, is brand new to the tech, and that's an important thing about coming here
Yeah.
and seeing it in person. So that's why it's important to actually go physically, because you can get there, get up close to it, and talk to the guy or whoever's designed it and built it and
Yeah.
And maybe eventually you would use it or sell it or whatever. So I mean, that's what SEMA should be, or that's a part of it.
It's cool to see some of the future failures too. Like a few years ago, there was someone, you were talking about the LED lights.
Yeah.
There was someone that had wheels that were LED wheels, so you could project whatever wheel you wanted. Like if you wanted honeycomb, or if you wanted, dish or whatever, you could have.
Those were kind of a fad for a while. Like you would.
Did you ever see one on the road?
I did see one
in the wild.
In the wild, yes, where it actually could project a message as it's so like it would have like the whatever website.
I'm so glad that didn't catch on. Whoever invented that, they lost all their investment and they deserve to lose all their money, and that's good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, risk, reward. You got a bad idea. That's what's great about capitalism. SEMA is all capitalism. I'm all for that.
There you go.
So I should be a huge.
So
SEMA
that's
fan.
what you should find the silver lining is
right.
capitalism. Yay, capitalism.
Yay, capitalism. All right, guys. What was your favorite thing at SEMA? Did you see it online or did you actually show up? Let us know in the comments below. I don't know. Send Duane some photos or something.
Yeah. Send it to my e-box. It's jp@faszination.com.
Exactly. You know what we're waiting for, though? On our last episode, we were talking about all the terrible podcasters out there in the Porsche world.
Including, I think we were at the top of that list.
Well, I mean, we are the authority on that because if anybody
that's
knows
why we can
how
talk
bad
ish.
A podcast can be, we're clearly, and I've got Michael Deeb here too, for crying out loud.
Are you saying that's like SEMA where there's like the fun of SEMA is finding the really crazy, like bad?
It could be. I mean, that's
bad
the thing. No, what I was
welds,
getting at
Bluetooth
was
drive
that
shafts.
on our last episode, we talked about Overcrest Productions and Chris and Jake over there, and how Jake can't afford shoes.
Yeah. Well, we're starting the shoe drive.
Want you? Yeah. The shoe drive is on. Jake, we know you're. He's giving it the old college try.
Why don't we find out his size and see if Chef's got to have an extra pair of Pumas? Like,
no, it's got to be brand new shoes. We don't want your old stinky shoes. Send us brand new shoes so Jake doesn't have to wear Birkenstock.
What's the address here?
I put it in the. It's in the body in the description.
We'll
of
package
the last
them all
video.
up, and we'll put them in a monthly subscription box for him that he'll get to open.
Yeah,
new shoes every month.
Every set of brand new shoes, we will forward them over to Jake, so he won't have to wear the Birkenstock anymore.
How do you think they'll receive that? The 4 or 5 podcast people that we critiqued.
They won't watch.
Okay.
I mean, if they did, that would double our audience, wouldn't it? I mean, that'd be
Apparently
pretty awesome. All right, so Shelby's going to eat the tourists that are out there. So I think we better wrap this one up. Thanks for joining us, guys. If you haven't hit the subscribe, like, or notification button, please do it now. The Do or Die Porsche podcast with my partner, Duane Wik. My name is John Polnik. My partner from Bid Nerds. Check out that YouTube channel. We got Michael Deeb over there. He's waving. Chef's over there in a food coma. He brought us some pizza. Jason Adine, a.k.a. Alter. We got Dan over there. He brought me some lights. We'll talk about the lights on the next episode.
I thought you meant like light cigarettes.
And then, no, that's the crack. And then the guy in the back with the hair. I don't know. What's his name?
Mental.
I was going
to drop his real name, and then I was like,
I was handing it off to you. So
I know,
you could
but I was.
prove that you actually knew who he was.
I was going to use his first name.
You're going to have to go buy him another beer. Mental Ward over there from everyone.
I use his real. Yeah, I know, but I didn't want to say it.
Sorry. All right, guys. We'll see you on the next episode.
See ya.
Please, God.